reporting live with the news you can motherfucking use. And I just want to share with y'all some of my situations, because dating is hard as fuck, especially here in Atlanta, because it's a lot of bullshit going on with a lot of bullshit ass people. And me and my boyfriend had broke up because we kept finding ourselves in very unorthodox situations, and so we had to take a hiatus for a moment there. And yeah, so motherfuckers was trying to talk to me and shit. So this one dude tried to talk to me. I'm out to eat, so he asked me for my number. So he said, you want to go out sometime? So I'm like, yeah, that's cool. So he ended up being like a mover. He owned a moving company, but he moved like famous people and shit, like all over his page. There was a bunch of celebrities and shit, the Falcons, like, you know, people like that. So I guess he was a state mover or whatever the fuck. So he was doing pretty well for himself or whatever. Nice looking dude. So first he kept asking me like, you want to go out to eat? But he would call me like 30 minutes before and be like, well, meet me at such and such. And as a female, you know, you got to get ready. You want to look presentable. You don't want to just look like crap going to meet no dude. So I always be like, you just spurred a moment too much for me. So one day we planned a date, so we end up going out. Cool. Go on a date, eat, leave. So we get to talking, so we laughing and joking and stuff. So he like, I like you, you know, you cool, you got a good personality, da 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 da. So I'm like, well, thank you, da da. So the night goes on, so he had to hook his phone up to the Bluetooth, so bitches calling and shit. So he keeps sending them to the voicemail, which I would expect, because we had just met. I mean, ain't, you know, motherfuckers, you date, you got to date to see who you like. So, and you single, you got no kids, you ain't married, you know what I'm saying? So I wasn't tripping. I ain't said nothing about it, but I noticed it. So he answered the phone on that. So, but on the way back, he was like, oh shit, my friend that's a chef did my meal prep, and she about to bring my food. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm like, well, should I, you know what I'm saying, just drop you off and then we leave or whatever? Because I had went and picked him up and we drove together, because he ended up staying in some condos around the corner from me. So he was like, you want me to drive? You want to drive? Whatever. So I was just like, I'll drive. It don't matter. So we was riding together. So he like, well, she about to bring the food. So I'm like, what the fuck? So he just sitting there. So I'm like, well, do you want to smoke? So I roll up. So we smoke. So then he started acting real weird. So I'm like, what the fuck? So I'm like, dude, you know what I'm saying? Do you want to like go in the house? Do we supposed to leave? Like, what the fuck is going on? So he like, nah. So I'm like, well, I gotta use the bathroom. So I go in his house or whatever and use the bathroom. He's standing there talking. So I'm like, shouldn't we be leaving? Then you say somebody was on the way here? Like, what's going on? So we get in the car and we leave. So I'm like, where we going? So he like, well, we could just park in front of your house. So we park in front of my house. We sitting there talking, laughing and stuff. So I'm like, what is chick at? You know what I'm saying? So he like, she brought the food. So I'm like, how she bring the food and we over here? Oh, so she got a key. So he like, you too smart. I ain't fucking smart. I'm putting two and two together, motherfucker. So he like, well, yeah, but she at the house waiting on me. So I'm like, all right, cool. So we sit there, we joke a little bit longer. So then I take him back. His nigga high as hell. He stuck in the motherfucker. Don't want to get out the car. I finally take him back. He gets out the car. So he go in or whatever. So that was that. So another night, he sent me a picture. He was on top of the Westin. So, you know, they got the view of the city. So, to people that's not from here, I guess that's something. I'm like, I've only been there like 1,000 fucking times. But, okay, great. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. So, he sent me the picture. So, then my boyfriend had called me and was like, he was going to come over here. But we was still, like, broke up. I don't know what we was doing at the time. So, I'm like, well, come on. So, we sitting here. So, he, like, cooking something to eat. So I'm cooking in this bitch. It's about 2 something in the morning. I'm cooking lamb, maybe 12, 1. I don't know. It was late as fuck. I'm cooking lamb chops and shit in this bitch. So I put it on my story. This motherfucker gonna text me and say, he gonna look at my story and then text me and say, don't ever call or text me again. So I'm like, what the fuck I do to you? And why the fuck you talking about don't ever call and don't ever text you again? Like, why the fuck would you even say that? So he like, didn't say shit. So my thing was, how in the fuck are you mad at me? And why in the fuck did you think that I was gonna take you motherfucking serious when you got 15 goddamn bitches motherfucker calling your phone? Not only that, you invited one to the house while you on a date with me. Which is why you probably always call me 30 minutes before trying to go motherfucking eat, because you don't care what bitch show up. You just motherfucking dialing folks and all this bullshit. So shit, you do you, I'm a motherfucking do me. I ain't understand what the fuck the issue was or why there was a problem. So I'm like, that motherfucker weird. So then I'm in Target one day, minding my own motherfucking business, trying to look for me some motherfucking shit to wash my hair with. This nigga come scurrying his motherfucking little ass over there. What's your name? Da, 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 da. So he like, what's your name? You know, what do you do? So I tell him my name, tell him what I do. So I said, what's your name? What you do? So he's like, I'm a dentist. I got a practice down the street. I got an office down the street, whatever it is. So that's that. So he said, but I'm finna go to Miami. It was like Thursday. He said, I'm finna go to Miami this weekend. He said, but when I get back, do you want to go out to eat, chill, you know, talk, get to know each other, whatever. So I said, that's cool. We could do that. So while he was out of town, he texted me a few times or whatever. And once he texted me, he got back. So he said, you know, the plan was we was going to go out to eat or whatever. He had picked the restaurant and everything. So I'm like, okay, cool. So then he called me. He said, well, I'm kind of tired from my flight and my trip and stuff. So Power was finna come on. So he said, you want to just come over here? We could chill and watch Power. So I was like, well, all right. But I had been waiting for him to go eat. So, of course, I'm hungry. So I'm like, well, I'm going to come over there. But I'm going to go with my family first. We finna go out to eat. My brother, girlfriend, and my niece, we was finna go out to eat. So we all link up at my brother, girlfriend house. So we waiting on her to get ready. My niece curling her hair and some more shit. So we end up leaving, going down there to Edgewood to eat. But before that, he was like, I said, I'm gonna go out with my family to eat or whatever. So he was like, okay, cool. So he was like, he said, do you smoke? So I said, yeah. So he said, well, if I give you the money, can you get something? I said, yeah, because I was going to get me something anyway. So I just figured, like, you know, he a dentist, he don't want motherfucking noise, or whatever the case may be. So I'm like, yeah, I'll go get it for you. So he was like, you want me to cash app you? So I'm like, cool, cash out the money, I'll go get it. But I'm going out to eat first. So he like, okay, cool. So it took us a minute to leave. Like I said, she curling her hair, we getting ready, whatever. We get there. They tell us it's a 45-minute wait. 45-minute wait. Then turn around, we get in the restaurant. It's a Sunday, so it's packed. Food taking forever. We in that bitch starving. We wondering what the fuck going on. So he done called my phone. So he like, what's going on? So I said, well, we in here. We finally sat down at the restaurant. I'm waiting on my food. So he's like, okay, well, I thought you said you was going to be here at 8. I'm looking at the phone like, sir, who in the fuck are you talking to? You know what I'm saying? Like, you trying to chastise me or some shit like you my dad did or some shit, nigga. I mean, I might have said it was going to be 8, but now it's not. You know, because I'm sitting here eating with my family like I motherfucker told you. You didn't want to go out to eat. That don't mean that I didn't want to eat no more, motherfucker. So that was on you. So he like, well, what you doing and when you coming? So I said, I'm waiting on my phone. So I'm like, man, hey, man. So I hung up the phone. I just hung up the phone. But prior to that, he had called like once or twice and I didn't answer the phone. My mama had called too, but I didn't answer the phone because it was so loud in there I couldn't hear shit. So I'm like, ain't no point in me answering. The music so loud I can't hear you talking. But I had finally answered and then that transpired. So he called me back after that. Why in the fuck? I have no idea. So the motherfucker calls me back. So I sent to a voicemail because I'm like, I just told you. So this motherfucker starts calling me from another number. So I don't answer it. So then I text and say, who is this? Because it was an unfamiliar number. I said, I'm in a place where I can't hear. Who is this? I'll call you back. He said, Brian. So I'm like, Brian? That's my baby daddy name. So I'm like, this nigga don't call me. The only time he called me is when he done got locked up or if I done text him and told him he need to cash out me some money or something. So we don't have conversations. So I'm like, why is he calling shit? This nigga done got locked up. So I go outside and try to call the number back because I'm trying to figure out why would he be calling me, because it had to be an emergency if he calling me because we don't talk. So the motherfucker don't answer the phone. So I'm like, what in the fuck? So I'm like, okay, I go back inside. This dentist motherfucker keeps calling me back. So I'm like, why in the fuck do this man keep calling me? So he texts me and say, well, can you give me my money back? So I said, why would I give you your money back? You ain't even gave me time. I ain't never said I wasn't gonna go and do it. You just mad because I ain't jumping when you say motherfucking jump. So now you irritated and you want your money back. I'm like, first of all, you pissing me the fuck off. I'm finna use your money to pay for my motherfucking food. I'm not sending you shit back. And get the fuck off my motherfucking phone. Because I ain't never tell you I want to go do. You the one change the motherfucking plan. The fuck is wrong with you? This motherfuckers just got me out here like, I just want my boyfriend back. Like, can I just get my boyfriend back? Like, I'm on this nigga goddamn phone sending motherfucking books and text messages, paragraphs. Motherfucking nigga, give me one more chance. Nigga, give me one more chance. I'm just on this motherfucker like, what in the fuck? Because trying to date in motherfucking Atlanta is some bullshit. And what I would say to you is, if you got somebody that cares something about you, that love you, that want to help you or try to build something with you, don't fuck that shit up and don't push them away, because the shit that's left out here is motherfucking re-goddamn ridiculous what a motherfucker has to deal with trying to date in motherfucking Atlanta. This is some bullshit. This is some straight bullshit. And that's news you can motherfucking use.